anyone on the Indiana Fever benefits from a stimulus package or, a Caitlin Clark stimulus, if you will. We've seen the star power of players on the Fever rise. I mean, you just look at the all-star votes that Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston got, deservedly so, right? But Kelsey Mitchell is now such a bigger star than she was in the past. And she's awesome. She's unbelievable. Long time coming. She was overlooked, really, when you go back to her college career and the numbers she put up, because it always kind of irritated me when Juju Watkins would pass Caitlin Clark for something and people would act like it was the record at the time when Kelsey still had the record. Of course, Caitlin went on to set the overall record, but you get my point. And then Aaliyah Boston gets that shine as well. And they're the all-stars, but other players too, right? I mean, you got Halloween costumes of Lexi Hull because of the way that her face represented the Indiana Fever season. But that just goes to show you how big the Fever and how much they cross over. Then you got Sophie Cunningham, who acts as Caitlin Clark's enforcer one time and becomes a massive star. And all of a sudden, she's in commercials. It's not just Caitlin Clark in commercials. Sophie's in these Arby commercials, and she's in this Adidas commercial that's promoting Damian Lillard shoes right here. She's the star of the commercial, really. When they cut over here, you'll see in a second, they introduce Sophie Cunningham. And that is another example. And that's why Sophie, she said she's looking for a long-term contract and everything. And maybe the boost that she gets carries over there. It doesn't even matter if she stays on the Indiana Fever, but it certainly helps to be a member of the Indiana Fever. And this was proven through some social media numbers. So there was an analysis done by STN Digital and Zoomph. They released the 2025 WNBA Social Rankings and Insights report. Now, right? That was the campaign by the Fever. And you see just how much their social media dominance dwarfs the rest of the league. The report revealed that the Fever dominated the rest of the league. Their estimated 55.04 million social value, which calculated the estimated paid media equivalence value created by organic posts, factoring in impressions, video views, and engagements to benchmark what the same exposure would cost through advertising, was multitudes more than any other WNBA team. For reference, the Dallas Wings scored the second highest at 8.61 million. Next was the Las Vegas Aces at 7.64 million. Then the Minnesota Lynx at 7.54 million and the Chicago Sky at 6.3 million. Gap, right? That is what you call a gap. And that is what happens. That is the Caitlin Clark effect at play. And then the Indiana Fever becoming one of the powerhouse sports franchises on the planet, certainly in America. Yankees, Dodgers, Cowboys, Lakers, Fever. They're there for the WNBA, and there's really no other competitor because you can see the distance between 1 and 2. As a great philosopher once said, there's levels to this.